Thank you, sir. Subhanallah, shukran, alhamdulillah. So from yesterday's question, friend asked about that other higher majlises, Frankfurt, which we already touched on it. So friend was asking the other two majlises, Roshni Majlis and Mola Jorolo. So what is the significance of this?
Ji, like I said, in different Jamaat and in different traditions and different countries. For example, if we have a background from India, Pakistan, or Africa, you will see there are different majalis that we offer in one Jamaat Khana, but not in all Jamaat Khana. So I believe in if I just think of about 4 or 5 Jamaat Khana in our area, there is one Jamaat Khana who offers Mola Jo Rozo Mallas, but not the other Jamaat Khana. It is up to the Tariqa board and the Jamaati Mukhi Kamriya. And if there are enough Jamaati member who want to get together to recite some Farman and Ginan, then they would have this Majlis. Remember, this is all Niyat. So you have a Mola Jo Rozo Majlis, you have a Roshni Majlis. What is the bottom line? What was the bottom line? To enlighten your soul, to give a boost to our soul, enhance and increase our Ruhani ranks. So whatever name or whatever majalis that we are enrolled in, may it be something as Molajo Rojo or the Roshni Mallas, and there are other majalis that different culture, different Jamaat may have. Remember, some of these majalis that we just talked about, it may not be in Syrian or the Afghani or the Tajiki culture. So they would not have life mallas, they would not have Hidayah mallas, they would not have Nurani mallas. It's all depend on where we have come from. The more we wanted to give, we can offer and we can go to more and more majalis so we can benefit more and more for our soul, and inshallah to more remembrance of the Imam, the more better for our soul. Ji.
So we another question connected to the Mola Rosa, the why it is Majlis we held in the morning.
If this was held in afternoon, would that be any different than if it was held in the morning? Remember, there is the different traditions and different time. For example, we remember the Chandra's Madras were held the day after the Chandra at one time. Today we have this Madras on the Chandra day. We also remember the live Madras was held in the morning once a month. Now it is only 3 times a year. Only one thing that we need to remember, and I hope this will help everyone. It doesn't matter, don't bog yourself down into the when, where, and what time. If it is the niyat and the purpose behind that majlis. So sometimes we have same majlis in the morning, sometimes we have same majlis in the evening. Does the sawab changes because it is in the morning or evening or afternoon, earlier or later? Sawab doesn't change, right? Because the niyat of the majlis is the one and the same. So it is not, it should be held in the morning or afternoon, but if that is the time that Mukhi Sahib and Tariqa Board has decided, then that is the time. If there is any cultural background into that, that's perfect too. It is not the timing, when and where, it is the niyat behind it. Purpose of the mallas is important, not the timing. Ji.
Another question about the Chirage Roshan, which is our brother and sister from the P. Nasir Khusru tradition. They are the one who's performing this majlis.
Ji. The amazing part of Chirage Roshan is that this majlis can be held not only in the Jamat Khana, but this majlis can be held in your home, in your neighborhood. This majlis can be offered when someone is born, someone has died, someone is getting married, someone is buying a new home. Chirage Roshan is one of the majlis which Imam had talked about recently, that we should adopt this new tradition from the northern side or the greater Badakhshan tradition. The reason behind it, and this is just my belief, okay, because this majlis can be held anywhere, anytime, and for whatever purpose you want to. Like I said, this can be held when somebody is born. This majlis could be held in your home, in your neighborhood, in Jamat Khana. It's just a beautiful tradition, and Chirage Roshan is the tradition of the Bir Nasir Khusro's side of the Ismaili Tariqa, where they light this lamp with so many prayers, so many prayers. It goes on and on for hours and hours. These prayers are offered hours and hours and hours. And they light that lamp again and again and again and again and again. Symbolically, what is this majlis is? How can we enlighten our soul? The symbol is Chirage Roshan. The majlis of the Noor, majlis of the light. And like I said, because this can be held in any occasion, so what they are saying, enlighten yourself. Have the Noor in your heart in every aspect of your life. May it be a birthday or someone has died, someone's wedding or buying a new home. Have the light of the Noor in your heart. That is Chirage Roshan. Such a beautiful tradition of Greater Badakhshan. Ji.
So connected to the same majlis, friends asking, are there any Mukhi cameras appointed for the Chirage Roshan?
No. There is no Mukhi Kamriya. So there are a lot of videos that we could share with you if you like to learn more about this. In this majlis, someone who knows all the dua, because there is a set of duas that you have to recite. And normally it's not a one person, but 2, 3, 4 people gather, run this majlis, because it needs hours and hours of continuation of the dua. So you can imagine one person, he will be tired after 30 minutes or 1 hour of reciting dua. So 2, 3 people combinedly organize or lead the majlis. And because this majlis could be held in your home, there is no Mukhi Kamriya, there is no part, there is no money involved. Everything is just purely spiritual ceremonies and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dua. And few people gather and they become expert in this kind of thing. So let's say there are 3 people who can recite dua for hours and hours and hours. So they will take turn with non-stop, they will recite the dua. Ji.
Okay, sir, we have received a few more questions regarding Chirag Roshan. I think the friends are getting more curious about this. anyone join Chirag Roshan?
Yes. Normally it is invited to all. Again, depends on the occasion. Let's say if it's someone's birthday occasion, and if they're holding this Chirag Roshan in their home, they may invite the friends and family. But if this is a neighborhood occasion, and this you can see in the Pakistan, India, or the Afghanistan or Tajikistan, or the northern areas of Pakistan, this is a neighborhood occasion. So they hold this outside. And thousands of people will gather, not only from that neighborhood, but from across the valleys. From the cross of the valley, they will walk miles and miles to join this majlis. Or they will drive, take buses, hundreds of miles to join this majlis. Because this majlis is announced ahead of time that in so and so neighborhood we're going to hold Chirag Roshan. And thousands of people will come to join this majlis. Yes, anyone can join. Yes.
And so another question relating to Chirag Roshan, is this majlis performed only in just those northern side Pakistan, Central Asia countries, or just happen in USA or Africa and USA as well?
I know for sure it happens in USA. And I know for sure in Karachi or Bombay, in big cities, which is not in the tradition of the Badakhshan, but because of Imam's Farman that we should integrate this tradition into our Khoja tradition, a lot of people have learned and they have invited our brother and sister from the other culture to help them arrange this majalis. I know for sure, matter of fact, I know for sure in Dallas, a few times I have seen this majalis in the homes at the occasions of Navroz or on the occasion of Imam's birthday, or someone had bought a new house and they wanted to have a Chirag in Ocean. So they held this majlis, they called some of the Tajiki friends or Afghani friends to come and have this majlis in their home. Yes, this is definitely happening all over the world.
So another question, is it true when it is said to take a Rouhani Mehmani on a Thursday? Why is it?
Okay, it's a good question, but the answer is same. So my brothers and sisters, remember, in the Imam's eye, every day is a beautiful day. What is your niyat? It would be hard for us to digest logically that Thursday the Rouhani will benefit more than Tuesday or Wednesday, or Thursday is better than Saturday, Sunday. The niyat, intention behind the service or behind the offering, what counts? I'm going to put this on the other side, okay? Remember, we are learning together. And I love this kind of question. And I appreciate you asking this question. Because this question may be in a lot of people's mind who's not even asking. So let's say Thursday is the busiest day at your job, at your shop, in your store, in your lifetime, for your children's school. Thursday is the busiest day for you. That's the only day that you are normally very, very busy. But Sunday is the easy day for you. You think if you take that same money on Sunday, because it is more convenient for you, Imam will not accept that? What is logical answer to this? Remember, our tariqah sits on intellect. Our tariqah sits on intellect, and it is the logical tariqah. Whenever you have a good niyat, good intention, that is the best day for you to take the mehmani. I hope this answers your question. Ji.
Another question, sir. Do we need to take a permission from Jamat Khana institution to conduct these majlises? So I believe they're talking about the Chirag Roshan.
No, Chirag Roshan is a personal majlis. Okay. So, do we call on Mukhi Sahib and bother them, or we call on Tariqa board and bother them that my son is having a birthday party? We don't do that, right? Chirag Roshan is a personal choice, a personal matter, as you have a personal gathering in your home, but this is a gathering for the enlightenment. Just think about it logically again, and I only wanted to give logical answers. When there is a birthday party, you wanted to call a singer who's going to come and sing some Indian movie songs or English disco songs. But in this case, you are saying that I wanted to do something good for my soul as well as celebrate my son's birthday. So what did you do? You change the dynamics. Instead of singing wistful songs, you say I'm going to have a spiritual gathering for my son's birthday. And you, instead of having something which has no meaning in our life, and you change that dynamic to something for your soul and your mind, and you say I'm going to have a Chirag Roshan. The idea behind the Chirag Roshan is to involve yourself in constant remembrance. And what Mola Baba said, even if you have a 5 second. Remember, time is very, very precious in moment's life. Every second is very precious in moment's life. So what we are saying, I want to take advantage of this time, of this occasion, of this birthday, and I'm going to do something good for my son on his birthday and for my soul. That's what Chirag Roshan is. Ji.
Another question, sir. We have majlis and I understand the significance and understanding the different meaning of majlis and sawab. But from batin perspective, are we not always in majlis 24 hours a day, whereby we are to be participating or we are to be practicing remembrance and amal and ibadat and ethics all the time? Therefore, is the purpose again just to help our souls? Please note, I am not negating the importance of majlis. Just curious about your perspective.
Very, very beautiful. Very, very beautiful. The different way of thinking outside the box. Such a beautiful thought. Yes, that is exactly Imam's Farman. Follow the ethics of Islam. Follow this every second of your lifetime. Majlis are just a reminder, a symbol, a symbolically gesture of what we should be doing in our life in totality. Majlis are just a reminder. We should be following the khidmat and the qurbani every day, every minute of our life. We cannot forget the remembrance, we cannot forget the khidmat, and we cannot forget the qurbani. That is ethic of Islam. That is the farman of the Imam. Very beautifully, great way of asking and putting it together. Thank you, I appreciate that. Very great, very good.
So we have another question, actually two questions by the same person. What majlises come after Nurani majlis? Any further majlises? And the second is Fidai Qurbani Ruhani, is it the same majlis we call Fidai majlis?
Every majlis is the majlis of Qurbani and Khidmat. Every majlis. You start from Betul Khiyal, Qurbani of your time and your sleep. 5 bar saal. Qurbani of your 5 year of your life and 12 year of your life majlis. Entire life. Fidai, be ready to work and have a war with Imam, meaning whatever Imam fights, today is fighting illiteracy, then we are fighting with Imam as a Fidai. Nurani Majlis is more as a bottom line for the enlightenment of our Nur and our soul. Only other Majlis above that is the 1-4 Majlis, where you offer more to the Imam. And Imam himself has said about the 1-4 Majlis that there is a great khidmat. Ji.
So another question regarding the Chiragi Roshan. I think the friend has done some research. According to me, Vice Khan, Chiragi Roshan is to be held on the 3rd day after someone has passed away, not on any other occasion. Is this incorrect?
I don't think that's a true. It could be a tradition. Remember, there is the traditions and there is the cultural impact, and then there is the fact. The facts are that there cannot be a particular day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. It is the niyat, principle to remember, intention, niyat. Amal ka daromadar niyat par hai. You think the Ruhani will mind if you hold this on 2nd or 4th day, or the 1st or the 5th day? No, right? It's not logical. Our tariqah sits on intellect. Having said that, tradition and culture impacts our practices. But logically and intellectually, you can answer yourself that to do a good, I cannot wait for 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever days. I want to do my good today. Kal karanta aaj kariyo, aaj karanta abhi. If you're going to do it tomorrow, do it today. If you're going to do it today, do it now. Do not wait to do a good deed. Ji.
Another question. Malal Hazmam says to enroll in majalises of your own will. Can you comment on enrolling a child into a majlis?
Yes. Actually, we talked about this yesterday. I would encourage you to listen to yesterday's lecture, but here, because you asked, I will repeat in short. It is the good deed and the well-wish of our parents. As our parents enroll us in school without our consent, without asking us. How many times have we asked our parents, why did you enroll me in a school when I was 3, 4, 5 years old? Because our parents wanted to do good for the children. Do we all agree on that? Our parents have a good intention for the children. And so they enroll us in what? In school. Because our parents also have a good intention about our soul. So what do? They enroll us in majalis. Having said that, and again I will encourage you to listen to yesterday's lecture for more detail. As we grow up, as we understand more and more, then understand the majalis that you are enrolled in. Understand the majalis that you are enrolled in so you can benefit more out of it. Before it was just a aqidah. Now, intellectually and willingly, understand the majlis and then join the majlis. meaning attend the majlis. Ji, thank you for asking. It's a good question. I would say that ponder on this and listen to both of these sessions on the majalis. Ji.
So relating to same question, yesterday someone asked about this, that why in some other higher madrasas you cannot enroll the child, but then some other madrasas you enroll the child.
Very good. That's a good question. Remember, it depends on what is Imam's instruction and then what is Tariqah board's decision upon the Imam's instruction. So there are two possible answers I'm going to give you. So first, depends on what Imam's instructions are and depends on what is the understanding of the Tariqah of the instruction given by the Imam. For example, being a Fidai or being in a Nurani Majlis or having the Isme Azam as a 4, 5, 10, 15-year-old child. Will they be able to fulfill this obligation? Answer logically would be no, they will not be able to fulfill this obligation. So then the purpose behind those majlis is defeated when you are enrolling your children. But so what do? You make them aware of this majlis, and when the time comes, then either they can enroll themselves into majlis or you can help them enroll in those majalis. For example, and I know for fact, there are people who did not get enrolled in Fidai or Nurani up until they were 50, 55-year-old. Because in their mind, they were not ready for it. Or financially, they could not afford it. So the question will come now, is it a financial decision or is this a niyat or is it a purpose behind the majlis? So let's take the same example, that there is a millionaire person but his niyat is not to give khidmat or the qurbani. He has the money, right? He has the mean. But then there is a poor guy who collects, saves some money and enroll himself into the majlis. You see two different views. It was the intention behind that. And I'm going to give you just one example of that. In one of the Madan Chanta, an old lady was crying. And Mola Baba asked, what happened to you? She said, I'm so poor. I always wanted to be in life madlas, but I never got a chance to enroll myself in life madlas. Mola Baba, with a big smile on his face, Mola Baba said, do you remember when you were so and so age and you were having this thought and you were telling your family member and your friend that one day you're going to enroll in life madlas? Do you remember that event? The lady was surprised to know, how does Imam know this? And this was like 40, 50 years ago, 60 years ago. And lady said, I remember that day clearly because since then my niyat was to enroll myself in life madras. Mullah Baba had another big smile on his face and said, you have been enrolled in life madras for all your life. The day you had the niyat, the intention to get enrolled in the madras, I accepted you. I accepted you in that madras from the day you had the niyat. Remember, Imam is not looking for your money. Niyat. You can give Mola Baba $1 million, it would not count if the niyat is not there. If niyat is there, what did Mola Baba say? You were enrolled in this madras the day you had the intent to enroll yourself in that madras. Now imagine, think of this. There's a lot of talimat and understanding from this one event of this lady and the conversation with Mola Baba. Think about it. Ji.
So another question, sir. We have, why is life majlis from once in a month, and now it is 3 times in a year? Why it change?
Yeah, remember we just talked about that a few minutes ago. The majalis and the rites and rituals are decided by Tariqa board, and they may receive some instruction for the Imam. So when Imam gives them guidance and how and what they understand from those guidance, that's how they make the changes. Even if this was a once a year, it would not make any difference. If this was every month, it would not make any difference. If it was twice a month, it would not make any difference. Because remember, what was the purpose behind the majlis? The khidmat. What was the purpose behind the majlis? The qurbani. So, do we need a majlis every week, every month, or every 3 months? How about if it's only once a year? It would not make any difference. Remember? Logical tariqa, intellectual tariqa. Our tariqa is not of why and when, but it sits on logic and intellect. It is a symbol, it's a symbolic khidmat, but if you wanted to offer your 5 saal, 12 saal life khidmat, you can do that every single day. You do not have to wait for 3 months or 4 months to go to majlis. Right? The purpose, learn the purpose behind those majlis. That will bring you the happiness. Not that one majlis that we go every 4 months. Ji.
Okay, sir, we have one more question. Okay. So what about mulaqat and my daughter majlises that come after 1/4 majlis?
Yes, like I said, there are many higher majlis which may be practical in some times, in some countries and some places, which may no longer be practical today. And there are and there can be other majlises that we don't even know about. So there are other majlis, and I agree with you. Then in some countries where Imam goes regularly and Imam accept those khidmat from my daughters or the other majalis, then those majalis are there to very, very limited people, who knows about those majalis. And I believe they can invite others if Imam accept others into those majalis. And I don't even know in which country they are still having this majalis. Because again, depends on the culture and the background. Ji.
So another question, what is the significance of Mawla Rojo Majlis?
Remember that different culture and background, we brought different majalis into our tariqa. You do not see Mawla Rojo in every single Jamat Khana. Meaning it's not a part of our rites and rituals or part of our daily rites and ritual. This is something that has to do with your culture and background, and you are offering a rozo in the name of Mullah Ali or in the name of Ali Zaman, Imam Zaman. And you are saying that I want to do a little bit more in the remembrance of the Imam. I want another chance to go to Jamaat Khana. I have another chance to go to Jamaat Khana with my Jamaat and do some tasbih, some griyazari, some ginans, some farman. That is the purpose behind it. Remember, the name doesn't matter. It can be named Mola Rojo or the Roshni Madlas or any other Madlas. What is the purpose behind it? That what is count. That is the important part. the batin of this majalis. Ji.
Sir, we have just one question from yesterday's session. So the friend is asking when one should go for the promotion.
Okay. So this is about Baitul Khyal and the Isme Azam.
Excuse me, sir. थोड़ा उर्दू भी
जी अनिला, थैंक यू.
उर्दू में अच्छा समझ सकते हैं उतना इंग्लिश में मतलब है लेकिन इतना नहीं
जी जी
उर्दू में हम सही तरह समझ सकते हैं.
जी जी. तो हमारे एक साथी पूछ रहे हैं कि कब प्रमोशन के लिए जाना चाहिए, यानी कि इसमें आज़म और बैतुल ख्याल का सवाल है. तो आई विल encourage that there are series of lecture on इसमें आज़म and बोल. मैं आपको इनकरेज करूंगा कि आप एक सीरीज ऑफ लेक्चर्स है इसमें आज़म और बोल के ऊपर, उसको आप सुने. और लेकिन यहाँ पर शॉर्ट में आई लाइक टू से देर आर टू रीजन दैट पीपल गो फॉर प्रमोशन. वन, if they feel that इसमें आज़म they have completed or is not working for them, and they go to Malapa and request that can I have a new इसमें आज़म. उसको हमारी ज़बान में पर्ची बदलना कहते हैं. So you request Imam that इसमें आज़म I have completed it or is not working for me. मैंने उसको पूरा कर लिया है या मेरे लिए काम नहीं करता है. तो या मौला बापा have a blessing on my soul, मुझ पर रहम करो और मुझे एक नया इसमें आज़म दे दो. और when do you go? When your heart tells you, when you feel कि आज मैं रेडी हूँ और इमाम तशरीफ ला रहे हैं और इमाम इसमें आज़म देने के लिए हुक्म फरमाते हैं, तो वो दिन अच्छा दिन है, जाना चाहिए लेने के लिए. जी. But I would encourage you to listen to this series of lectures on इसमें आज़म and बोल. It will give you a complete understanding how, when and for what purpose you should go for second promotion. Ji.
Sir, another question is, what is Panjabano Majlis?
I think the name has the answer. The Majlis of the Panch Behan. This Majlis used to be only for women. But you know today, this Majlis is open to everybody. Another Majlis from our background, from our culture, and the good Mu'mineen in their good old days, they said, some of us women will get together and we will remember the Mullah. And they started a small Majlis. And then it grew, it went to other countries, and now it is observed just about in every single country where Ismaili lives. And it used to be just for the woman. Now it is for everybody. So, purpose. Don't go with a name. When we think of the name, we get stuck. Think of the purpose. What was the purpose behind it? उसके पीछे जो मतलब था मजलिस का वो क्या था? जमात ने जाकर गिनान बोलकर, फरमान बोलकर, तस्बीह निकालकर मौला को याद करना है. यही हमारा नियत थी ना, हमारा पर्पस ये था. So now if this majlis is called पंजे बेनु मजलिस, रोशनी मजलिस, मौला जो रोजो मजलिस, और whatever मजलिस, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, राइट? उसके पीछे मकसद क्या था? हमारी रूह को फायदा पहुंचाना, इमाम को याद करना, मिल बैठकर मौला को याद करना. That is the purpose. जी. So Kamre Sahib, we have 2-3 more minutes. We can take maybe one more question.
Yes, sir. So when Imam comes and holds our hand spiritually during morning hours, would that be Imam making a member of certain majlis?
I don't think I'm understanding the question. मेरे ख्याल में ये क्वेश्चन में समझा नहीं. Imam hand is on our shoulder all the time. इमाम का हाथ, इमाम की ब्लेसिंग, इमाम की रहमत हमारे कंधे पर, हमारे शोल्डर पर हमेशा हमेशा है. एंड स्पेशली जब हम इबादत करते हैं तो इमाम कम्स एंड ही हेल्प्स अस. व्हेन वी रिमेंबर हिम, ही रिमेंबर अस. व्हेन वी कॉल ऑन हिम, he replies back to us. Remember, that is the purpose, that is the understanding that Imam is always and always holding our hand. Ji. Thank you everybody again. May Mola bless you. May Mola have his rahmat on you. May he keeps his hand on your shoulder. May his dua, khana wadan, always be with you. Always be with you. May you have a light in your heart. May you have a light in your mind. May you have a ruhaniyat and nuraniyat and didar in your lifetime again and again and again. Ameen. Yali Madad. Thank you everybody. Thank you.
Yani Madad.
Yali Madad. Yali Madad.
Thank you.
Yali Madad.
Bye.
Yali Madad.